this man's face. He's like, excuse me, this is not the deal that we agreed to. Hello?
Go play in some traffic. Don't play with me, ho. This shit gon' get graphic. They say that I'm the blueprint, yeah, they calling me schematic.
Yes, that song that you just heard is new. It's off my new EP, Traffic. Special thanks, of course, goes to Ocean and Tony and Tim that they helped me out so much with this project. So excited for y'all to hear it. If you haven't already, I mean, I did a live stream and everything with that shit, but go ahead, download it, check it out. All that shit is in my description box. Make sure, I just wanted to give y'all, like I always say, something fun for the summer, especially for my gays. It's out, it's ready for you to listen to. Also, patreon.com/AdrianExpression just put up a new episode of the podcast. It was a lot of fun. So yeah, check it out, check it out, check it out. There are so many annoying headlines this video, but I just wanted to start out with something fun. At least I had to scour, I had to scour the internet for something fun. I was like, please give me at least one thing, because this whole video we're gonna be dragging. We're gonna be dragging this entire video. So the fun thing is around Emilia Clarke. We already know she's the mother of dragons, the extremely talented actress who had to endure the shitty writing that Dan and Dave. I'm never gonna stop talking about it. If you expect me to stop talking about it, you might as well just go watch another channel, because I'm going to drag it until the end of my damn days. But Emilia Clarke, they made an announcement that Emilia Clarke is going to be cast in Marvel's Secret Invasion. Now, Secret Invasion does not have a release date yet. They're saying that they may start filming very soon, but and I honestly, I do not know a whole lot about that run, like that comic run. I do not know a whole lot about that story, so I'm excited to see what Miss Mamas is going to bring. Now, we do not know what she's going to be playing. We do not know what character she's going to be playing, but some people really want her to play, now hopefully I'm pronouncing this correctly, Veronki. Now, comicbook.com says that character is a princess of the Skrull Empire who was briefly exiled due to her religious beliefs. She rose to the ranks of Skrull Empress and became the architect behind the actual secret invasion. So there are many characters, of course, that Emilia Clarke could play. So it's not like that's the only one, but honestly, if it involves her sitting on the throne and being a mastermind, I want her to be evil too. I want her to be a villain or some shit. Like, that would give me so much joy. Also, some other news, apparently like in July, I think she's gonna come out with this comic book that she wrote, like with, she collaborated with a lot of people, but she came up with the idea herself, she wrote it, and it's called Mom, like Mother of Madness, and it's about, let me see. It is, she said it's a Deadpool-esque miniseries that follows a single mom named Maya who discovers she has superpowers and uses them to take on human traffickers. Just some quotes really quick about the comic book. She said, "We're always calling mothers superheroes," and I'm like, what if they were? What if they legitimately were superheroes? Maya has had a very hard life, and she finds herself in a place where everything that makes her unique, she hates and is ashamed about. It's only in the discovery of her powers that she finds her true acceptance of who she is. Emilia Clarke apparently built a whole female creative team to do this comic book. She said, "My brother was a comic nerd growing up, and I wasn't allowed in the shops. I wasn't allowed to go in with him because I was the loser little sister, and the little moments that I was allowed in, there weren't a lot of women on the covers, and there weren't a lot of women in the shop, so I didn't feel safe to explore it at that age." So it's just really cool. Emilia Clarke's doing some cool stuff. I just wanted to, start the video off with some fun news and some cute news, because the rest of this shit is just, it's absolutely ridiculous. Okay, so given everything that's been going on, and given the result of the trial, I feel like y'all already know what the fuck I'm talking about. I really wanted to bring up the fact, what Ron DeSantis just signed into law in Florida. This is especially important if you are an organizer, or if you're, on the front lines at the protests and stuff. Just be careful. So the Orlando Sentinel said that, Ron DeSantis signed this anti-riot bill into law, even though riots are already illegal, but we ain't even gonna go down that goddamn road. Orlando Sentinel said the law, which goes into effect immediately, listen to what the fuck I'm saying, grants civil legal immunity to people who drive through protesters blocking a road, which Democrats argued might have protected the white nationalist who ran over and killed counter-protester Heather Heyer during the Charlottesville the whole situation in 2017. It also makes blocking a highway a felony offense. Vanity Fair says it prevents people accused of rioting from being bailed out of jail until their first court appearance. This is very important. And it makes it a second-degree felony to destroy things like, of course, the Confederate statues, plaques, memorials, all that shit, paintings, flags, all that shit. You're talking about something that has been signed into law that gives it immunity. While all this unrest, while all these protests are going on, immunity to people driving through fucking protesters, okay? I'm not gonna talk about the fact that Ron DeSantis is really built like a leaking bag of flour in the face. I'm not gonna talk about that. I'm also not gonna talk about the fact that his intelligence levels, given his intelligence levels, I would not be surprised if he was chewing on rocks and shit and stone tablets and shit. I'm not gonna talk about that. But what I'm gonna say is that I think it's actually so wild that people, you know, people in the government would come out with all these kinds of laws and bills and shit. Even in Minnesota, I saw them like preparing for the verdict. They come out here with all these trucks and National Guard and all this shit. Like, instead of just listening to what the people want and what communities want and how they're facing danger, especially from police. Like, instead of like investing in ways to solve the issue, they invest in ways to just beat your ass down, silence you. Damn, if y'all put this much effort into solving the issues, like in actually governing, instead of trying to oppress, like, wow, how different would the situation look? But yeah, fuck Ron DeSantis, but I just want y'all to be aware of that, especially if you are in Florida. We already know that Derek's dumbass was found guilty on all counts. Now that definitely fucking surprised me, and it definitely surprised him with the way, like I said in the beginning of this video, the way that he was just like shocked. Like, look at his face. He was just as shocked as I was. They escorted his ass off the premises after the judge read the verdict, and that was that. Now, of course, there is reason to celebrate, especially when you consider his, George Floyd's family. We got to see some of their reaction as well to the fact that they got some justice. But overall, and of course, we're happy that we don't have to see Derek's ugly ass face, ever a goddamn, get him off my goddamn screen, get him out of here. Get him out of here. And make sure you put him in Gen Pop too. So of course we have reason to celebrate, but we definitely should not take our eyes off the prize, especially since these girls have been known to use these kinds of things as distractions or as a way to say, well, girl, y'all happy now? No, we're not happy now. Especially since literally not even 24 hours after that verdict in Columbus, Ohio, there was a black girl, 15-year-old girl named Ma'Khia Bryant, who was shot. And she was the one who called them because she was apparently about to be jumped or something. She ended up taking matters into her own hands by the time the cops came, I guess. She ended up being shot and killed. And of course, there's a video all over the place. I have not watched it. I just read the articles and move on about my business. I'm not trying to see that graphic ass shit, but it's just crazy. Like I said, we cannot lose focus just because out of the thousands and thousands and thousands of deaths by cops, we get one goddamn guilty verdict. It's like, what does the sentencing look like? It's just, keep your eyes on the prize, of course, celebrate, and I'm happy that his ass out of here, but the entire system, I think, needs to be just removed and it just needs to be removed. But there's so many changes that has to happen, so many deep systemic changes that this shit is just like a drop in the goddamn bucket. And there were so many reactions to this verdict, but one that really gets on my goddamn nerves is Nancy Pelosi's annoying ass. Oh my gosh, can someone just tell her to shut the fuck up? Just somebody sit her down and say, Nancy, you've been flapping your gums, you've been running your tired ass mouth for so many years. It's okay, just shut the fuck up. She went up there and said this. At a presser, she was like, thank you, George Floyd, for sacrificing your life for justice. Because of you, because of thousands, millions of people around the world who came out for justice, your name will always be synonymous for justice. What the fuck does justice mean to you, ho, first of all? Second of all, George Floyd did not sacrifice his fucking life. He was executed, ho. What the fuck are you talking about? Oh, thank you so much for sacrificing your life. I'm telling you right now, these are the people who are making laws and shit. This is how they see, even because she thought it was the most beautiful thing to fucking say, not realizing that it exposes exactly how she thinks about certain people. If you thought that shit was cool and you were just on autopilot, you thought that shit was just a normal thing to say, you have no idea, you have no inkling about the deep ways in which police violence really affects these communities. You really see these people are going through this shit as like props. Like, you really do. Thank you for sacrificing your life. Like, George really invited Derek and the rest of them to do what they did to him. He did not send out a fucking invitation for them to come and do that shit. What are you talking about? And what's even deeper than that is that if you think of these things as sacrifices, it allows you to not face the hard truth that this is a systemic problem. If you see this shit as a random ass sacrifice, as, oh, he gave his life for us to be talking about justice, you have no idea. You are not ready, you are not prepared, you are not competent enough, you probably don't even see it as a priority to face the deep systemic issues. It wasn't no sacrifice. It was execution business as usual. So you talking about these things in a weird, toned down, watered down ass, empty ass, platitudes ass way means you have absolutely no idea about what actually is fucking going on. And if that's the case, you don't need to be governing anybody. You don't need to be making no goddamn laws. You just need to shut your fucking mouth up. You need to sit your ass down and get out the goddamn way. That's just it. And last but not least, I want to talk about Boosie's old annoying ass. I'm going to bring it up every time. Because I just want everyone to know that this shit is weird. This shit is weird. As soon as the verdict came out, here come Boosie. He's lucky he ain't going to jail in Louisiana. And the hashtag said, basically, a boss call would have been made, and he got the little emoji eggplants. And I want to know exactly, what do you mean by that? Like Juicy said, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? So you think that it's a hard ass, gangster ass move to be implying that, okay, if he was in jail in Louisiana, I would have picked up my phone and called somebody, made some calls and shit to move some dick around like it's drugs? That shit is corny, first of all, and for the verdict to come out and your mind immediately goes to a prison rape fantasy, I want you to seek help. Boosie, I want you to seek help. Like, bitch, he really got on Twitter bragging about the fact that he was gonna move penis around the prison like it was fucking contraband, ho. Like, you niggas are weird as fuck, and for so many of you to be that homophobic and be having dick on your mind 24/7, Boosie talk about dick more than I talk about dick, bitch, and I talk about dick every fucking day. I'm a whole ass flaming homo. Boosie talk about dick more. Boosie imagine dick more than I ever imagined this shit. That's why I don't understand how y'all hate gays so much, and the only thing y'all ever talk about is somebody else, gay kids, or penis all over the fucking timeline. Seek help. Seek help. Seek help. And I want y'all, for straight men who are homophobic, I want y'all to try this. Try this. Talk about women. Talk about the things that you claim to be attracted to. Talk about pussy and all that shit. Try talking about it just a little bit more than y'all talk about dick and gays, okay? On that note, thank you all so much for watching me rant. I love you so much. Do not forget to check out Traffic, my new EP, as well as patreon.com/AdrianExpression for all the extra goodies. Stay safe and sexy, and make sure that you have a good goddamn evening.